Sunshine, Wild Ones. It's Bernadette. I'm here with your Pick a Card Daily Tarot reading for Thursday, November 5th, 2020. Y'all, I couldn't wait. When I saw this card, I was like, oh my God, where's my camera? I mean, I just flew in front of the computer. Holy cow, wait till you hear what this is all about. So, Squirrel is the Ace of Wands. We're going to get to see, even my dog's going crazy. Hold on, come here, you. Princess Hobson, hello, all you wild ones. She saw mommy get excited, and now she's so excited. She really, really wanted to say hi. Have you said enough? Yes, I love you. Goodbye. Okay, so, Princess Hops, that's her name. So, getting back to the crazy squirrel story. So, my mom, today is her birthday, and unfortunately, she was killed on January 5th of 1997, but her birthday was November 5th. And why Squirrel is such a big deal to come out today, we're going to get to all of the traditional meanings in just a minute, but honestly, I really feel like the story I'm about to tell you, whatever your takeaways are from this story, mostly I feel it's about that. So you've probably heard me mention that when I was a child, we was po. We couldn't even afford the OR to make it poor. We was just po. And my mom worked 4 jobs. Listen, when I look back on it now, it wasn't so bad, but at that time, it was a little rough. And we lived in the woods in a trailer. We didn't have to walk up a mountain 2 miles to go to school in the snow, but still. So when I got to the 5th grade, there was a big thing that used to happen here in the South. And if you got good enough grades and you were a good enough citizen, you could be a patrol. And you would help the teachers manage, the traffic of kids, and you would get selected to run errands. It was really a big deal. It was a big, big deal. It was an honor. And the other thing that being a patrol got you to be able to do was each year they would take the kids that could afford it to Washington, D.C. and do a tour of Washington, D.C. And you'd wear your little orange sash and your patrol badge, whether you were a lieutenant or a captain or a whatever, or, just the regular part of the mix. And nothing would do but I would be a patrol. And lo and behold, I became a lieutenant. Who knew? And I knew the minute that I became a patrol, I wasn't even going to ask my mom if I could go to Washington. She was working 4 jobs to put food on the table, and she's going to be able to afford to send me to Washington, D.C.? I don't think so. But she came to me one day and she said, hey, I know that everybody's doing fundraisers and, everybody's getting ready and signing their paperwork and whatever to go to Washington, D.C., but you haven't said anything about it. And, I got embarrassed. I didn't, I was a kid. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. And she said, would you like to go? And I said, well, yeah, but I know that I can't. She said, oh, really? Come to find out, I'm going to get choked up. My mom had been putting away $5 a month since I was in the 3rd grade and she heard about the patrols. She knew that one day I would be a patrol, and she knew one day I would want to go to Washington, D.C. That was a big deal, y'all. We took a train ride on Amtrak trains, and we got to sleep over on a train and eat lunch and breakfast and dinner on a train. It was the first time I ever had Fresca. It was amazing. And so she had been saving here and there and everywhere, and she was also willing to take out a small loan for me to be able to go. Every cent on that trip mattered. Every single cent. And while other kids were out buying t-shirts and this and that, I knew that I was allowed, I want to say it was like I was allowed $5, which was a big deal at that time, to choose a gift to bring home from Washington. And I wish I still had it. Oh, how I wish I still had it. I don't know what I'd do with it. I probably gave it to some kid a long time ago. But for $5, there was a big deal about all the squirrels on the White House lawn. And it was a big deal to me because squirrels were a big deal for my family. My God, those things used to make my mom crazy. You know why? trailer. And those little buggers would go with their little claws and their little feet all over the trailer, all up the sides of the trailer. And it's tin, y'all. It's a big dang sardine can that you live in when you live in a mobile home. Oh my God, it used to make her just absolutely crazy. So I just thought that little stuffed animal was the cutest thing I ever saw. And so I bought it and I clung to that thing for my very life. I wouldn't put it in my luggage. I wouldn't put it, I mean, I was in the 5th grade. I'm just clinging to this squirrel. It was my memento. And honestly, I don't remember what I did with it, but I don't think I got rid of it probably till I was in my 40s. But anyway, so what that whole story has to do with y'all is this. This week has been and is the week of the day that shall not be mentioned, and people are dealing with it in a lot of important ways. But at the end of the day, my going to Washington was a call for you to believe in things even when you don't believe in them, and that it's important that you speak your dreams to yourself and to the people that care, because they'll help you in any way that they can, in any way that they can. You never saw a kid sell more of that world's finest chocolate bars than Bernadette did wanting to go to Washington, D.C. My mom, she'd even send my grandma to sit out in front of the Piggly Dang Wiggly in Denellen, Florida, so I could hawk those candy bars, and I've near about shoved them down people's throats and went, digging through their purses. I think they were like a quarter at the time or something. I was like, I know you have a quarter in here. Give me your quarter. So, so I got to go to Washington, and I chose what I could afford, but that was meaningful for me. And I've always loved squirrels. I mean, if you're having a bad day, go sit in somebody's yard, sit in your own yard, pull up a YouTube video. Those little clowns will make you laugh, especially when they're trying to get to the bird feeders. And people have greased the poles for the bird feeders, and they're just like, or the ones that lay on their backs in the bird houses and just look around while they're feeding themselves with their big fat bellies. So something about leadership today, something about, Thursdays are the heart chakra day. It's ruled by the planet Jupiter, which is the planet of expansion and optimism and dreaming the big things and not even believing in miracles, but expecting miracles, creating miracles. And so overall, really that means that today for you, but it also means, I find that when people talk about squirrel symbolism and meaning, or squirrel as a spirit, totem, or power animal, they gloss over all that movement, that frenetic movement that they do with their tails. Animals don't do anything just cause. I mean, humans are really the only animals that do things just cause. There are so many reasons that a squirrel shakes its tail. But my mom always used to say, if I was being lazy or I wasn't doing something she told me to do, she'd go, hey, come here, come here. What? I'd go over to the window. She'd go, look at that squirrel. And I'd look. I'm like, what's going on with the squirrel? She said, you see how fast that squirrel is moving? You see his little tail doing this? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Good. Then shake a tail feather and blah, blah, blah. Get this done, get that done. I don't want to have to ask you again. And God, I'd fall for it every single time. I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, y'all. So whatever it is that you want to dream, whatever kind of leadership, whatever kind of belief in miracles, acceptance of miracles, creation of miracles, get with the program. Shake a tail feather. Let's go. The other thing that squirrels are thought to shake their tails about is to warn off predators. Yeah, I see ya. You go ahead, you come for me. Can you run faster than I can? Can you climb this tree as fast as I can? Unless they're talking to a cat, that's probably not going to be the case. And they do a really good job of skittering away from predator birds when the predators come to, the birds come to get them in the tree branches, limbs and on the ground and whatnot. They really are the most amazing survivalists. So it's such a call today And we'll get to what the Ace of Wands means for you in just a second, but it's really just such a call today to get moving, get quick moving. And if you've got some kind of person breathing down your neck trying to, I don't know, do anything to you, you might want to wave a flag at them and go, I see you. I see you. You're not getting anything over on me. So if you come at me, I'm completely armed. Like, you understand that? I'm completely armed, but give it your best shot. So those are some of the things. And also another thing is, you can find treasure anywhere. Now, I understand I was a child, and to have any kind of gift or bring home any kind of souvenir, that was a big deal for my family because, again, my mom worked 4 jobs just to keep a roof over our head and put food in our mouths. So even being able to spend that amount, it was a momentous time in my life that I'll never forget. And even today, when I go to spend, I don't know, any kind of money on something that is frivolous or a treat, sometimes I have to stop myself and go, hey, stop that. There's plenty out there. That is a lack mentality. That is we're good. Go get your dang extra Snickers bar or whatever, get your extra large Coke Icy instead of a medium one now. Come on. So moving forward, when we talk about the Ace of Wands in the traditional deck, it is it is. We know wands can be air or they can be fire, the element associated with them. But at the end of the day, it's good news well, actually, it's excellent news for beginnings of any kind. Everything has fallen into the right place when you look at the hand of God coming out of the cloud with that staff, the inspiration, the bright future, all the starburst behind it. Everything is perfectly aligned. Everything is perfectly aligned. And wands can be I associate wands more with air than I do fire, but it really just depends on the reading and what other cards or animals are around it. But when you take a look at the fire element, then you can associate wands with Prometheus, who's a Titan in Greek mythology. And that was the old fellow that touched the stick to the sun when he stole it from the gods, and he gave it to them as a gift. So I'm not telling you to go out and steal anything. What I am telling you is you can take your wand, whatever that is, and you can touch it to the sun. You can touch it to the gods. You can draw down that energy through that wand or through just a regular old tree branch. When we think about the 10 leaves that are growing on the wand, that is such an expression of power because 10 is 1, right to the 10th degree. That's the number of creation. And Kabbalistically, this number refers to Mercury, the god of magic, and the letter Y, Yud, is a divine blessing. Again, if you're seeing this right now, it is creative energy. If you're anything that you want to start, it's just being handed to you. All you've got to do is take the baton and run, Forrest, run. Now, that being said, let's talk about squirrels for just a second, because as adorable as they are, as darling as they are, as funny as they are, they've got a habit of fooling themselves, and in the process of that, expending a lot of energy that they don't have to expend. So they always stock up for winter by digging their little cubby holes, and they put their acorns there, their nuts and whatever. But when it comes winter time and they're digging for that stuff because they're cold and they're hungry, they only harvest about 10 to 20% of what they put in the ground. So that can be a call that you're over preparing. So like if you've got a job interview or you're going on a date, or there's something that I don't know, a painting you want to make or some new kind of croissant you want to try baking. Y'all, it could be anything. It is, you might be overdoing it. You might be overthinking it. So, pardon me, I don't know what it is today, y'all. She's going buck wild. Think about how much you really need. Think of how much you're really stocking up for. You may not need as much as you think. Now, likewise, when squirrels do this, they also create empty spaces, empty cubby holes, because they're trying to throw other squirrels who might be watching them. Where did they put that? They might be trying to fool them, or other animals that might see them and root all that stuff up. They and they'll try to harvest from an empty well. We can't harvest anything from an empty well. So be very careful about who you're deceiving and why you're trying to deceiving or why you're trying to hide anything. I don't know that that's going to go so well for you when all is said and done. When the cold of winter comes and you're cold and hungry, you might be standing there with an empty pot, and other people are sitting around the campfire enjoying some yummy dumplings and broccoli or whatever to I know dump it. I don't even know where I got that. But it might be delicious, and you might be like, "Can I have some?" So careful, careful, careful about who you're trying to pull a fast one over on. Sorry, y'all, about hops. There must be energies going on with this squirrels. Maybe she wants to go out and maybe she wants to go. She hears me saying squirrel. She wants to go outside. I'm all right. Nothing gets by me, animal communicator that I am. Okay, so if you are wanting to call on squirrel as your spirit animal, or you think a squirrel has come to you as your spirit animal, there's something, a big new quest on your horizon. And I'm so proud of you already. It's going to go so great. It already is going great. You just may not know it yet. If you really see squirrel as your totem animal, man, can you accomplish a lot. You can get with the program. You're a really good teacher. Squirrels make amazing teachers for their little ones. They're just, sometimes it's like, not that humans are all that, all humans are that amazing as a teacher, but some of us are. And, it's just such a privilege to watch them raise their young. It's just the cutest thing ever. If you want to invoke squirrel as your power animal, that's a little more intricate than you might think, given their quote unquote simple symbolic meaning, a squirrel's simple symbolic meaning. Just like with the story of going to Washington, of my mom having the foresight, and that's another thing. If you're a mom or a dad and you're watching this, or even if you're a sibling, this might be a call for you to kind of look around at your loved ones and see what you can foresee that they are going to want or need, even if it's a year or 2 or 3 years out. It might be a really important thing for you to do. And see it from your heart chakra space. Remember, Thursdays are the heart chakra days, right? Everything from a place of love. Back to squirrel as a power animal, they're amazing problem solvers. You give those things, put some peanuts or put some corn in a container of some kind. It's like Rubik's Cube to those squirrels. And I'm telling you now, unless you've like tightened something on there so hard that Man Mountain Dean couldn't get off of there, Sasquatch couldn't get off of there, they're going to find a way in it. Oh, yes. Yes, they will. They are just so smart, as are all animals in their own way in the animal kingdom. But squirrels are such a living testament to, if you want something badly enough, you'll figure it out. Tell you another very, very quick story. So over the years, I've had a lot of people ask me for help in business because I do okay. And I have finally learned my lesson. I'm not doing any more consulting on business. If you need a question answered here or there, okay. But we're not doing that. I'm not your business coach, even if you're my dearest friend or in my family or whatever, because there comes a point where when you're more experienced with something, people tend to want to just lay down and go, and you can't do that. When you want to create something of value, when you want to create something sustainable, you have to create it. It has to be yours. Now, that's not to say you can't have a Mac Daddy business partner where maybe you're the money and they have the know-how or whatever, but you're still fooling yourself if you think that you can have a successful business without understanding all the moving pieces and parts. And that's like a big old puzzle to put together. So when there's anything you want to put together, you could be writing a book and you could be like, I don't know how this next chapter should go, or what should happen to this character or whatever. Squirrel can help you out with that. There is a great puzzle solver right there. Let's say that you feel like somebody's telling you untruths. Okay, You can solve that puzzle. But you see, you guys, when you go back to the food issue of maybe having a little bit of a problem, and this might be about an eating problem of some kind. You know, Squirrel has come to you today because of the way they store food and they only harvest this amount and they're constantly trying to fool other people they think are going to take it from them. You know, this may be about you need to solve the puzzle of self. You need to solve the puzzle of why you're not moving forward and you're not snatching up that baton that the universe has said, here, doing. You know, I pronounce you lucky, then here's all your lucky charms all in one place. Go forth, you know, be prosperous, be abundant, be happy. And you're just sitting there looking at the wand like, should I take it? Is it real? Is it not real? Snatch up that baton and get going. Shake a tail feather. So, I hope this was helpful. Squirrel energy to you guys today. Pick up your copy of the Arc Animal Tarot and Oracle deck and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you get the Pick a Card Daily Tarot reading every single day. And also you can sign up for the daily reading email. I send it out every morning in an email form as well. So all of that said, as you're shaking your tail feathers, what is it? What's the most important thing? Come on, let me hear ya. To stay wild.